Namaste. Today, I thought it was time to discuss grief. It seems that these days there's more and more to grieve about. The loss of our former way of life, the inability to gather together the way we used to as families and friends and communities. Even sometimes we have to grieve over the emotions that we have to deal with and put aside for another time. And it's important to grieve because it's part of the healing process. So, for instance, many of us have lost a loved one during this time of isolation and disconnection. And we not only have to grieve for the loss of that person, but we also have to grieve for the fact that we weren't able to be with them or even to gather for the funeral. We have to grieve for the fact that we can't use this time to express our emotions to each other in the ways that we normally would, especially people who are living alone. So I think it's important to go into the steps, if you will, of grieving. Of course, first we're in denial, like this isn't happening. Our mind can't accept that, and that's okay because it actually gives you space in which to process whatever the event is. So it's kind of a protective device. Then we get angry. It's like, why is this happening? This shouldn't be happening. What did I do to deserve this? That person was too nice. They shouldn't have. Whatever it happens to be. And that's an outlet. That's like a pressure valve. And that's also okay. Everything in moderation. And then we can go into depression or sadness. So we then finally, it's as if we prepared ourselves and now we're finally able to allow the emotions to come up and deal with them. Then there's acceptance. And that allows us to move on. One of the most difficult places to be is to be stuck in the process somewhere along the line. And that's when grieving is most important, because it can help us to break free, to set ourselves free of whatever is holding us in the past and not allowing us to move forward in a healthy and happy way. Now, I find that a really great tool in all this is to find some positive aspect, and there always is some positive aspect, always. That's why normally at first we grieve for ourselves. Really, we're grieving for ourselves. In the case of a person who's no longer here, no longer in our lives, not necessarily because they died, and because we're going to miss them for our loss. But then it's possible to focus on the positive aspects of that, all the good memories that we have, all the good time that we had with that person. And that's a choice that we have to make. So, as I've said in other instances, you pay the same price for the lesson. So you may as well find a positive way to come through it. And most likely that's what that person would want for you anyway. Once you get to the point where you've dealt with the feelings, they've finally come up, and you've gone into your what we normally call your grief, then it's important to find the way out. And the find the way out, again, is to honor the feelings, not to try to suppress them or push them away, because it's important to have them. And then to, I guess, have a positive conversation with yourself. Like, okay, now it's time to get back to normal life again, or it's time to create a new life without that aspect or that person in it. And start exploring those possibilities. What can I do? How can I use this in a positive way? How can I use this for my growth instead of to hinder me? And sometimes it helps to put it on paper, 2 columns, the pros and the cons, and then put it all down, and it'll become much clearer. I've used that tool many times. And of course, there is yoga, meditation, prayer, and the breathing. I think the breathing should be the basis of any of those practices. And so you do a clearing, which is very simple. You just sit or stand straight wherever you are, and as you inhale through your nostrils, you feel your belly relax so that your diaphragm can come down. Pull the lungs down and open them. And then you open up your ribs, your rib cage. Set yourself free. Open your cage. Feel your back expand. Feel your chest in the front expand. Then drop your shoulders and relax around the breath. Nice 2 big balloons full of air. And then as you exhale, for the cleansing breath, we exhale through our mouth. And you bring the belly in. You use your abdominal muscles and your ribs to squeeze. Use your shoulder blades to lift your heart, and then use your chest muscles to finish exhaling. So we'll do this together, all right? Okay. So, up straight, feet on the floor, standing or sitting, doesn't matter. And here we go. Inhale, belly, ribs, back, chest, shoulders relaxed. And belly, ribs, shoulder blades, and chest. Now, as you're doing that, we use imagery. So you can imagine bringing in the oxygen and positive stuff, okay? Give it a moment. There's a lot of work to do. And now through the mouth, exhale, releasing everything. Anything negative along with your carbon dioxide. Give it 4 heartbeats. And then take another breath. And the best part is you don't have to know what it is. You don't have to know what it is that you just exhaled. It's just gone. That's all we need to know. And now we have space. We have room inside. We've cleared out the space in which we live. We live in there. So now you've done a nice spring cleaning. And now we can bring in some positive stuff. And you can call it healing. You can call it love. You can call it whatever you like. And that's what it is. So, and also remember the energy that we shared here today. And that's always there for you. So, ready? We're going to bring it in the same way. Relax the shoulders and hold. Now through the nostrils, exhale stress, tension, thoughts, and emotions. And we do all that without collapsing, because you've regained your inner space and cleaned it, so you don't want to collapse. So let's try that again. We're going to bring in the positive. I'm going to wait while it does its work, sending it to every muscle, nerve, and cell in the entire body, arms, legs, fingers and toes, brain, everywhere. Exhale through the nostrils. Stress, tension, all the thoughts and emotions. So it's really, we don't want to be happy or sad. We just want to be neutral. In that place where we can receive whatever there is. And then we decide what we want to keep, and we decide what we want to exhale. So let's inhale all the energy. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Okay? Let's just inhale it. It's just energy. We make it positive or negative. So let's take it in. And through the nostrils, exhale whatever you don't want to keep. Keep the energy. There's a place 2 inches below your navel where you can store it. So I now have a pool of neutral energy to use however I want it. A free gift from the universe. And whatever was attached to it, I exhaled. I choose not to keep that. So even if someone is yelling in your face, right? Or even if you're surrounded by and overwhelmed by grief, anger, anything like that, just don't worry about what was attached to that energy. Just breathe it in. Bottom to top, back to front. Relax around the energy. Bring it down just below your navel in the center of your body. Hold it there. Exhale through your nostrils, releasing stress, tension, grief, anger, confusion, sorrow. There. And now do something pleasant for yourself. In the case of a loss, create some sort of symbolic memorial. It only has to be symbolic to you, not to anyone else. And when it comes back again, it most likely will, then you know what to do. You clear it. First you honor it, okay? Have your moment. Have your hour, if that's what you need. And then clear it. Keep your shoulders back. Because this is a power position. This is when your energy, your own power, can flow. You don't have to protect yourself. Clear. Now that you've cleared, bring in the energy. Hold. Let it pervade every part of you. And then tuck it in down your lower belly. And exhale through your nostrils, releasing whatever negativity was attached, or whatever you don't want. Now you can also share this energy and send it to someone else who perhaps is grieving and needs some help. Or someone you love that you just haven't been able to reach out and touch physically. So here we go. It's the same technique. We inhale to clear. Exhale and cleanse. Now bring in that energy. Hold, keep it, and make it put all the positivity into it that you can. Your love, joy, peace, compassion. And now through your nostrils, exhale, sending it out from your heart. So you bring it up from the bottom, send it out all around, 360 degrees. Out into the atmosphere. Let's do that again. Now focus on, if there's a particular person you want to focus on, then focus on that. Otherwise we'll just send it out into the universe and put out some positivity into the world. So it can't be wasted anyway. So let's focus on someone. I'm going to focus on a cousin of mine that I would like to send some positive energy to right now, who's been having a hard time in the hospital. Ready? Fill it with positivity, love. And now with the nostrils, exhale, send it out from your heart. Send it out. Even after the breath is done, wait. 4 heartbeats. And then take a big breath for yourself. Give yourself a hug. And namaste.